Right, today we're going to be creating the string sound that Stevie Wonder used on Village Ghetto Land. And of course he used the Yamaha GX1 synthesizer. We'll be doing it on the Studio Logic Sledge. Now the sound that we're starting with is from previous tutorials entitled Super Saw. So this is our starting point and this is where we left off before. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the pitch all to an 8-foot pitch. How does that sound? That sounds good, but there's a little bit too much detune on there, so we're going to adjust the detuning to be much more subtle. Here we go, -6 and +8. And that gives us a much subtler sound. Then we're going to adjust the filter. Now the Super Saw waveform had a very bright sound. In actual fact the filter was fully open, and as you can see here it's fully open. If we close the filter down, it will get mellower. If we close it down too much, of course the sound disappears. But if we bring it up to a reasonable level, we've now got a very similar sound to Phil Collins in The Air Tonight. Okay, but what we need for the string sound is the filter envelope. Now at the moment the attack knob is set to 0, the release knob is set to 0, the sustain knob is set to 0, the decay knob is set to around about 50, and to apply that envelope to the filter we need to adjust this filter amount here. We'll bring it up to about 25. Now we've got what we're going to achieve is a spiky kind of sound like that. This is good for comping. Now we've got the spiky sound, we're going to transform the spiky sound into a string sound using the amplifier envelope. And we're going to introduce a slow attack. Now if we introduce too much attack, we've lost the kind of spiky bowing effect. So put it to around about there. Possibly adjust a bit the filter. That's better, yeah. And we're also going to include a bit of release time, so that kind of creates a slightly more ambient sound when you release the keys. And to put the final gloss on the sound, we need to move over to the modulation section. Now the modulation section is extremely useful for providing wobbles and things to oscillators, to filters and the like. If we introduce a subtle amount of vibrato to oscillators 1, 2 and 3, it sounds like this. This is a little bit more extreme, and this is just annihilation. So we want a very subtle amount, somewhere in the region, there we are, something like that. And now we can create the sound of Village Ghetto Land as played by Stevie Wonder. And that's it.